We are joined by Australia's next hype, Mark, the Magic Man, Schleibs.
I'm bigger, he's not going to be able to bully me. I'll be the big guy. Always in my heart, in my brain, I always believe that I can be world champion.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first episode of the Kiko and Vierra podcast. My name is Vierra.
I'm Kiko dos Santos.
And today we are joined by Australia's next hype, Mark, the Magic Man, Schleibs. How you doing today, Mark?
I'm good, boys. Thanks very much for having me. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, good having you, bro. Good having you.
Let's do it.
Nah, no worries, man. We're very happy to have you, man. So we just want to jump straight into it, man.
Yep.
Just tell us, what makes you want to jump into a sport where you're repeatedly getting smacked in the head? What makes someone want to do that?
Look, man, no, I don't think anyone normal wants to do that, but fortunately for me, I got into the sport quite young at 11, and I know you boys very well from school, and especially with the areas, Reservoir and West Heidelberg is quite rough, and it's easy to be led, go astray. So boxing's kept me honest.
Yeah, 100%.
But, obviously, I've made mistakes as well, just like everyone else, but boxing's always brought me back to
keeps me straight.
Keeps me straight, yeah. So
that's
why I'm boxing, man.
Man, that is a perfect reason, man. You see some people have that built-in aggression or whatever. It's a good way to let it out. Some people go to the gym, exercise or whatever. I didn't know you were doing it since 11. I was actually just watching some YouTube videos before. Saw some from like 7 years ago. But when did you start getting, how can you say, like, were you always that serious about it from 11, or was it more of a hobby?
I pretty much started training full-time at 12. I had my first fight at 13.
Wow.
And then I left boxing about 19, 20. I kind of imploded. Like, all I did was train 6 days a week.
Wow.
So yeah, I was very committed from a young age, and that's why I got the skills that I have, because that's all I did, man. All I did was eat, sleep, breathe, boxing.
You said growing up in the northern suburbs, so that was Heidelberg, right?
Yeah, so West Heidelberg, and then we moved to Reservoir, and that's when I started boxing.
Did boxing discipline you enough to avoid the fights?
Yeah, of course, because
street fights and everything like that, because obviously that goes against everything that you're in.
And the only reason kids fight on the streets is they're frustrated from home things, and they don't know how to get it out. And when you're always exercising, you're boxing, that's your release. You get your endorphins from there, and you try and make your coach proud, and as you get better, you make everyone else proud. So
man, those endorphins are definitely real, man. Just when you get that pumping. Can I ask, say, because we're talking about Heidelberg, and maybe the trouble that comes with that area. Now that you've got the skills that you do have, and I don't know if anyone has ever maybe tried to start you and they're unaware of the skills that you're a boxer. Do you know what I mean?
On the street and in the ring is different. So, but in the sense, if you're street smart, it's probably best to have that handy as well. I can't go walk around punching people in the face.
Of course, was there ever times that you had the confrontation and you've had to avoid it just because?
There's been many times, but for me, there's nothing to prove. I want to be able to box. I don't want to break my hands and risk my career because some goose,
No, definitely. I was going to say the legality of it isn't maybe a road that you want to go down, but I was always interested just to see if a boxer, because you don't know, it just look like the random average Joe off the street, but really they're like Bruce Lee under that or something like that, you know? Now look, I want to get into, so obviously a lot of people have a dream that they want to chase, but you've actually made it to a level where you ended up on TV and you're doing some pretty big things right now. So how did you make it sort of to the level that you're at?
To be honest, I've just never given up on it. That's mentally, sometimes, like I said, I took a break for a couple of years, whatnot. I made bad decisions, but always came back to it. It was always in my heart, in my brain. I always believed that I can be world champion. And I feel that's a lot of people give up on their dreams, and whatever they are, they just unfortunately live their lives for other people's opinions. And if I can encourage someone else out there to just focus on themselves and keep chasing their dreams, then that's what you should do.
It's powerful words, and I believe it comes from you. The next major champ of Australia, honestly. And you got to say it to believe it. It's a difference between just saying it. Now you're hitting these levels that you're at now.
That's it.
It's a possibility, for real, man.
And that 3-year break, was that during your pro boxing, or was that?
Yeah, so I turned pro at 13, and then... 18.
Okay.
This guy's breaking records.
So I turned pro at 18. I could have tried out for the Olympics, but at that time I was roof plumbing as well. So I finished school at year 10, went and started full-time work. Then I just wanted to turn pro. I had 3 fights, and my coach was working at the time, so I wasn't getting many fights, and there wasn't many guys in my weight division at the time. So I just, like I said, all I did was train. So I never really went out. I know the nightlife, and then kind of started going out, and people showed me this, showed me that, and I was like, oh, it's, you know, and then you get caught up, man.
You do.
I think I needed to do that and get it out of my system, because if it happened now,
I see.
with all the attention,
Of course, at the peak of your career.
yeah, it'd be a lot worse, you know. So it was kind of good to get it out young, but you know, again, I don't recommend that for anyone, especially if you focus on your career. I just kind of had my own hardships going through that time, which everyone does.
Everyone does.
And that's how I got out of it. You know, that's how I got out of the system.
Do you feel like if you didn't take that break, that you'd be further up in your career right now, or
I
did you learn?
I think I'd be world champion now.
Yeah.
But look, I'm a big believer in fate, and
It wasn't the right talent.
it wasn't the right time, you know. So, you know, I wouldn't be this mature. I wouldn't have the life lessons that I've had.
Yeah.
If it did all go that way, you know. And like I said, when you don't have that experience of life, when you do fall, you fall hard.
That's it, man. I think it's good to have the perspective of both. So to be grateful for where you are right now, and to also be like not content and be like, no, I want more.
Of course, you know what I mean. Like I said, a lot of people, you know, they're trying to always, you know, might have pressures of their parents, or you know, expectations where they don't meet them 100%. But it doesn't mean you can't create new ones and create new opportunities. You might have different, you know, you might find out new beginnings chasing that one dream, and you might be good at something else and push forward for that, you know. Like, for example, you guys are, I know Kiko did the muscle chef.
Yeah.
Extremely successful. Awesome. Now you're doing both, you know, and you guys
we'll get into that.
both got a good voice, and you know what I mean.
Thank you.
And you're engaged, and you know you're both hungry.
Look, I wanna just hone in, because really just seeing you like make it to the Fox and stuff. I know you got into it a little bit, but I just want to see, there's so much people out there that have the itch and are in the boxing world and stuff, but just to make it to that level really seems almost out of reach. Does it help to have some connections or anything like that? Like,
of course, you know, boxing is a business, and you know, to be honest, I could have, like I said, your opportunities come. I chose to take it, you know, be main event on Foxtel. It's big.
Huge.
Unfortunately, I got beat, but you know.
Let's get into that. So, leading up to the fight, obviously you say you're going to win, and how do you feel?
Look, man, I'm always confident. I never doubt myself. We were at the time, we were in stage 4 lockdown, as you know. You know, it was hard.
Where was your mental state at that stage?
To be honest, pretty poor. I think like everyone else. You know,
and is that due to the lockdown, or was that because upcoming to the fight?
No, it was due to the lockdown. But when we got the opportunity for the fight, it was a big ask. You know, me going up 2 weight classes, having to go to Canberra. You know, and you know, of course, I said yes, because that was the only opportunity for a fight for that year, and I didn't want to, you know, to start the year so shit, especially with everyone going through the same thing. You know, I kind of finished the year off with a bang. So, you know, in a sense, it's probably my best year yet. But, you know, this year is a new year, and I've got a title defence March 20th, and I plan to prove I'm the best bantamweight in Australia.
March 20th, super bantamweight they call it, is it?
No, on the post it says there Australian super bantamweight champion, but I think maybe it's just regarding the super champion.
Just touching base, sorry. So first in Jarvis, you building up to that fight. I seen that your mental state. You seemed like you were switched on. You were speaking to the camera. And you felt like you were. Could I even say like overconfident?
Did you know Brock before the fight?
Look, no. So we called him up 2 years prior, and we saw him fight, but he grew in that 14-month period. He got a lot bigger. So the same Brock that I saw fight
came a better fighter, got bigger,
and stronger. And look, I'm happy that I fought the best version of him.
Yeah.
A lot of fans and a lot of people in attendance were happy with the fight as well, and especially with my performance. I wasn't at the time, but when I watched it back, it was quite competitive, even though with the size difference. But like I said, I called for the fight, and I was never I was never going to make excuses after it either. So it is what it is, and all I can do now is prepare hard for this one and make sure I make a statement.
Definitely, we'll get into the next one, but I just can't help but notice. So I did see the fight with you and Jarvis, but what you're saying the size difference, was he actually in a different weight class or?
Yeah, no, so I went up 2 weight classes to fight him.
And that was at first, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool.
Right.
I'll fight at 53 and a half. The weight limit was at 57, so in between that's super bantamweight, so it's 55 and a half. I went up 2 weights. We were contracted at 56, but there was a weight clause in that contract. So for every pound he was over, he had to give me $2,000. He came in really? 56.9. So originally I didn't have to take the fight. I could have said nah.
Is there a rematch in the table?
Nah. So there's no.
Is that
rematch.
something that you want to do, like to prove to yourself and to
I'd love
others?
a rematch, but in the sense I'm not big enough to fight him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He put on.
So
it was 8 kilos the next day.
Yeah. So going into that fight, I mean, you were super confident. So is that? Do you feel like you're just overwhelmed? You're just in your own hype? What was the?
Nah, look, man.
Where did that confidence actually come from?
I've always been confident, man.
Regardless, your opponent makes
man.
Yeah. Which is completely understandable. You don't want to be hesitant to
and
fight.
That's it. I think that's why a lot of people were drawn to the fight. They weren't really promoting the fight. I think they were pretty, even though with the result, they were pretty worried, man. And the way I was talking, obviously my skills, and but look, at the end of the day, it is what it is, and he got the win, and credit to him, and I just can't wait to fight again and to redeem myself.
You had a what was the record before that? Was it
a 12-0?
12-0. So now what is that? Is that 12?
12-1.
12-1. So that continues through because I didn't know if that was because before the whole TV thing.
Yeah.
Look, I want to get into trash talking opponents and just your whole view on that. So would you consider the way that you were approaching the fight before with Rock? Were you trash talking him? What's your whole view on the whole? Is it just a competitive thing?
Man, you gotta have a dance partner when you're doing that as well.
Right.
Depends, especially when there's TV involved. You want to promote it as you want to get as many people.
Yeah, it's part of the game, right?
It's part of the game. It's a business. You know what I mean? You want to be marketable, and then that's what happened with me because I was vocal. I was presentable.
Definitely marketable. Like the name Magic Man, I wanted to get into. How did you get the name?
I actually got it from an announcer from the amateurs.
Oh, really?
So I didn't give it to myself.
Nice.
So this announcer watched me fight in the amateurs. They called
these guys the Magic Man.
Mark the Magic Man, Schleibs.
So it just happened, right? Just fate.
So that's it, man.
That's cool, man.
Originally, I was a bit dirty on it. I was like, fuck, man, I want to be called Magic Man.
And how does the word Magic Man define you now? Like from then to now?
Oh, look, I'm pretty sure it still defines me. You know what I mean? So I think it's very suiting.
So why did you say you were dirty on it there at the start?
Oh, because I wanted to be Mark Sugar Schleibs. My favourite fighter is Sugar Ray Robinson.
Okay.
So, and because, Sugar Ray Robinson's got fast hands, punches hard.
I think this works though, because this is like sort of your own lane,
exactly.
So
it just stuck, man.
Yeah. As to someone who's completely on the outside of boxing and doesn't really know much, when I first heard that, I was like, okay, this is like Australia's answer to, you have the, what's the word I'm looking for? Like the integrity and the skill of Magic Man versus like just the business side of someone like Money Man in America. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so you're a boxer but you're calling yourself Money Man. Is that what it's about? Do you know what I mean? Where you're like, no, I'm bringing the magic to it. It's about the skill.
Yeah, look, it's about the skill, and everyone's got their own ring name and stuff. But like mine came, like a lot of famous ring names from the announcer or the crowd and people's own opinions.
So so I didn't know that either. That the boxing stage names come. They don't usually
get
to themselves.
You either make it for yourself, but the ones that crowds will say, oh yeah, he's
something.
He's incredible. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It kind of catches on there, and then some people say, okay. There's a lot of fighters back in the day just use their own name.
Yeah,
that's it. But
it's got a good ring to
be marketable, and it has to have a ring to it, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. Magic Man.
Touching base on the 12-0 and then coming out of that fight 12-1. Is that something where you feel like it lost your momentum, or is that something now you're going to pick up from, and you got that strong mental state?
At first I was quite disappointed. Don't get me wrong, but the next day, like I said, once I got home, all I wanted to do is get back to work. I had a little bit of a break, but why be bitter and lost? Because I've still got a long career to go, and a lot of great world champions have been beat. So
course, 100%.
You just gotta have that mindset, man. Otherwise, you know, you can just make all the excuses you want and feel sorry for yourself.
Yeah, it's sorrows or...
It's one of those situations, it's a make or break, right? So take one step back, 2 steps forward.
Just keep it moving. Yeah, like I said, just sit there and wallow in your own sorrow, or just pick up the pieces and move forward.
And it happens to the best of the best. You know,
That's it,
you
man.
see it all the time.
That's it. So, you know, a lot of people, when things don't go their way, they spit the dummy out and you see the true character. But like I said, man, it's all about not giving up. You know what I mean? In 5 years time, who knows where I'll be.
That's what I was saying, where you want to be, yeah.
Like, you know, I could, even 5 years before this, I was in a completely different state.
And did you think you'd be where you are now? Did you visualize this, manifest this?
You know what I mean? But what I was doing 5 years before this was completely different to what I'm doing now. You know what I mean?
I was
sitting here doing podcasts.
There you go.
Know what I mean? And thinking about boxing, or, you know, I was at that crossroads in my life, not knowing what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
You know, a bit lost. You know, all those kind of things that grow up. You know, all those hard things I had to get through started fucking with my mind. You know what I mean? And it was costly, but I got through it. You know what I mean? I got through it.
5 years ago, did you have a 5-year plan to get where you are now, or was that just
Nah, man, that's it. And that's the only reason I got to here now is because I just got back into the gym, man. Just got back into the gym and just slowly, one day at a time, and everything falls into place. You know, God sees you doing good stuff. He rewards you. You know, some people aren't religious, but it's like anything. If you're you know, organised and whatnot, some people take it to heart when bad things happen, even though they're doing good things. It's not the end of the world. You know, that's life, man. That's what I've learned anyway. That's, you know, I'm a father as well. The little boy's 6 years old. You know, so at that time at 21, I was a young father. And I was going through some crazy shit.
How old are you now?
27 now.
27, man. I mean, powerful words. I would want people who, you know, in the future, wherever you end up, to come back to this one and just to know that faith, you know, in God is real. And
look, man, you got to understand as well. You know, when you're down now, I've been down now, and you know, I'm reminding myself, man, you got 2 hands, your eyes work, you can pick and choose what you eat, you got clean water. Even when I was broke, you know, I couldn't even fucking find 5 cents in my car. Or, I couldn't drive my car because my Rego was fucking expired, you know, like, you've got opportunity, man. You've got opportunity, you've got to chase it, and, you know, don't be you know, jealous of anyone else either. You know what I mean? You got to.
You're in your own lane, right?
Luck, man, yeah.
For that reason, do you see yourself now structuring a 5-year plan, or do you want to just keep letting fate take its role?
No, so of course, you know, now, you know, it's a year plan. Yeah. You don't want to think too far ahead. Not too far ahead. Just get the things done we need to get done. You know, obviously, the end goal is to become world champion. But with everything going on at the moment,
a little bit difficult, right?
It's different, man. It's completely different. It's unfortunate, bro, because I feel like we're trapped.
You got a lot to give,
and thankfully for boxing, we have that. And for me, you know, I feel like we're being restrained from our own freedoms. That's just my opinion. But you know, boxing, fortunately, can give me opportunities to travel and compete around the world.
Of course.
Oh, heaps of opportunity, man.
And that's why I'm gonna, you know, stick to it and see how far I can get.
And in the back of your mind, you got your kid as your motivation as well, I'm sure. Yeah?
That's a huge one.
Yeah, cool.
March 20, man. How do you say his last name? Simplice Fotsala?
Yeah, that's
Simplice.
it. Perfect. Yeah.
Any words for Simplice?
You get knocked the fuck out, man.
Knocked out. See you later. Bye bye. That's it.
So coming into this fight in the next following 2 months, do you feel like, okay, now don't get top of things like you did with the last fight, but you still got a lot to prove?
I'll just be, you know, I'll be working, man. I'll be working. Obviously, my confidence is still there.
What's your game plan? What's changing from the way you went in with Jarvis with this bloke here?
Well, you know, with Jarvis, like I said, it's a completely different fight, a lot bigger. You know, he's not going to be able to bull me around. I'll be the bigger guy. I'll be the bigger guy.
Yeah.
There you go. You know, we've sparred before. We've had heated spars. And
so you've met this guy before?
I've met him before, yeah. So he's ranked #1 in bantamweight, and you know, I've got to make this defense. It's been long overdue, and bro, you'll see. Everyone will see. You have to come and tune in, and you'll see what I'm about.
There you go. Actions do speak louder than words. Mark has, you know, proven that. Will continue to prove that. You know, Simplice Fotsala, you got to watch out, man. What's that? March 20 at the Melbourne Pavilion.
Yeah.
Man, I mean, I think you got this, man.
Thanks, brother.
I mean, I know you do. It's a matter of time. Like you said, actions speak louder than
That's
words.
it, man.
We'll let the actions do the talking because...
That's it, bro.
All right, man. I think that was pretty good. Anything else you want to get into? You want to shout out your socials? So you got the Facebook page set up, all that?
Yeah, so you can follow me on Instagram, MagicMan_1000. On Facebook, just Mark Schleibs. And, you know, there's sponsorship opportunities if you want to jump on board as a sponsor. And yeah, I appreciate you guys. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, awesome.
No
It's
dramas.
really
Thanks
good,
for
man.
coming, man.
No
Thanks for
worries.
coming. We'll throw all the descriptions, all the links to his socials in the description, and make sure you sub to us. We're going to be doing another catch-up soon. You're mentioning something to me about a...
Yeah, man.
During
So,
the fight camp,
we'll get some footage up and
Yeah, we could do something like a little bit more different perspective,
Yeah.
just behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Maybe come into where you
of
got
course,
training.
man, of course,
and
yeah.
just see what it's
I'm
all
happy
about.
for you guys come into the gym and
Perfect.
do a
Yeah.
session and have an interview after.
100%.
No worries, man.
Yeah, a nice little promo once this, this is underway. But excellent, man. Thanks for joining us, Mark. Appreciate that very much. And yeah, we'll see you shortly.